What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, we're back. How's it going?
I'm going very well, Conor. Welcome back from travelling the world. I held down the fort while you were gone.
It was a lovely Q&A. I mentioned it in the Hero Zero on Friday, but a lovely Q&A. I enjoyed listening to it because I had to do no work.
Thank you very much, but it's always a pleasure to do work for 1 week out of 4 years. But no, we haven't done a Movie Mondays in ages, it feels like.
I feel like it's been 2 weeks, 2.5 nearly. So there's a lot of news to catch up on. A lot of stuff I've kind of been like, that's kind of old news. Stuff has come out and then I'm like, oh, that's big. And then there's been like 2 weeks and I was like, oh, now there's actually news that counteracts the original news. So it's a bit iffy after you do 2-week-old news. It's not called the oldies, Shaun. You know what I mean?
We're all the latest movie and entertainment news is what we talk about. So,
well, like, we don't talk about it with any sort of, authority or intelligence, but we bring it to you, like, and you just make of it what you will. And sometimes we say, geez, that's a bit fucking weird, isn't it?
It's a lot of that. And nothing is like decided or nothing is clarified at all. We're just presenting the news and having a chat about it.
Just give us a like and review.
Yeah, look, we all know what we're here for. We're all familiar with the format at this point.
Also, I mentioned on Friday, I noticed our likes or our 5-star reviews on Spotify, they're going way up, Shaun.
What the hell?
It's been pretty cool. It's been really nice to see. So,
thanks,
if anybody else wants to throw in a 5, if you want to throw in a -5, also acceptable. I'll take that.
Give us a 4 if you want, if you think we could do better.
For Shaun, give us a 2. Specifically for Shaun is all it's written.
Just write it in and spell my name correctly, please.
So we are starting off news this week, Shaun, with some pretty big news about Marvel. And that is the Fantastic Four movie. And that is the fact that it has found its director, but it has also meant that Star Trek 4 with Chris Pine has now lost its director. As Matt Shakman has joined Fantastic Four, leaving production as director of Star Trek 4.
I mean, to be fair, if Disney comes knocking and hands you money to do Fantastic Four, you're probably going to drop whatever you were working on at the time.
A lot of people will know Matt Shakman. He's a long-established director. I mean, he's done Game of Thrones, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's also the main director of WandaVision. So he's worked with Marvel before over at Disney Plus. Made sense. They know him. They like him. And so they have Fantastic Four lined up. They're thinking, he's the man. But he's doing Star Trek 4. Well, here's another truckload of money, Matt. Okay. What if you came over here?
But to be fair, Star Trek 4 has been in development for so long that it is possible that Matt Shakman could step away, do the Fantastic Four movie, and then come back to Star Trek and it'd be fine.
Yeah, and I think Paramount run the Star Trek production, so obviously they're losing the director here, but Star Trek 4 is one of those productions that has also been in various stages of development. I mean, do you remember Tarantino was doing it for a little bit?
Yeah, it's just one of those weird projects that's kicked around because they own the IP.
And then they were going to do a new reboot, and then they announced the fact that they were doing Star Trek 4 with Chris Pine without asking Chris Pine, which I remember covering that, like a year and a half ago. And the funniness of the fact that Chris Pine then could just say, well, I would like $50 billion. You
can name your price at that point, Chris.
Like, you've announced me in the movie.
To be fair, Matt Shakman he's quite a good director, but just... he's not as, I suppose, lauded. Like, he's not up there with, like, your Spielbergs and Scorseses and all that in terms of household names. But, like, those are some good projects that he's worked on in the past. Especially for, like, a family dynamic. Always Sunny is hilarious to me. Because that's a dysfunctional family who all hate each other. And that's basically the Fantastic Four.
Are we saying DeVito as Johnny Storm?
I'm thinking DeVito as the Thing.
You know what? Fucking he would do it.
He would. He absolutely would. No, actually, I think DeVito might show up in the Fantastic Four movie as the Mole Man, who is the Fantastic Four's first villain that they face in the comics.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, he would do that.
He would absolutely do that.
They want him to also come in and do in the Hercules movie.
To be Phil.
To be Phil, again. But just in live action, Hercules.
Yeah, because why wouldn't you? Like, he's
DeVito.
made for the part.
He's a legend. He's a legend. Give him anything. So yeah, Shackman has come across. This kind of pretty much guarantees. Now look, what I will say is, Marvel have not come out and confirmed him as director. But here's what we know. Front Runner, they were like, we'd like him to direct.
Yeah.
Now Paramount have released a statement saying he has departed from Star Trek 4, which is set to film at the exact same time as Fantastic Four was set to film. So we're kind of putting two and two together here, saying he's just moved across.
He's actually doing the Plastic Man movie for DC.
Imagine. He's coming in to do the Snyder Cut again.
I fully, like, because D23 is coming up next week, I think, which is Disney and Marvel's, like, their big expo,
and they're talking about Fantastic Four reveals at it.
Yeah, like they haven't. That's not on the timetable. Fantastic Four reveals, but it's impossible to keep a secret on the internet, and it's heavily rumored all the things that are going to happen. So it makes sense that they got the director, and now they're holding off to announce him until the big expo where they need all of everyone to go woo really loudly in a crowd.
Oh, it's a whole bunch of woos. You gotta woo as loud as you can, because that's how we know if it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. John Woo, he's going to show up.
He's the biggest star there.
He's the new Kevin Feige, I
hear. I mean, in terms of Fantastic Four, this is the director of WandaVision. I mean, I know it's a very loose thread. What can we kind of bring from WandaVision to be like, oh, he could bring this kind of vibe to Fantastic Four? It's a bit of out there magical stuff, but Fantastic Four isn't really that.
Yeah,
unless you're Doctor Doom.
But WandaVision has a certain level of, like, there is a bit of, I wouldn't even say like humour or comedy, but there's a bit of silliness to a lot of WandaVision. And Fantastic Four are ridiculous in the comics. Like, they fight big purple aliens, and like Franklin Richards has a pet dragon at one point as a kid. Like, it's a wild, dumb universe.
And in the first movie, they fight fog.
In the second movie, they fight fog. I'll have you
Sorry,
know.
Galactus turns up in fog in the second movie.
Yes, but I think with a family, like, and the family stuff does work well in WandaVision as well, between Wanda and Vision and those two kids. So, because I think that the heart of the Fantastic Four movie is buying that they are a family. That is what they're all about. And so you need someone who can sell that. They're not just a team.
All I want the Thing, I want Sue Storm, I want Johnny Storm to be real nice and to really get on with each other. And then everybody agrees that Reed's a fucking dickhead. He's kind of the one we don't like.
Now, I would like that very much, but I think that they're going to do early days Reed Richard. He's still not an absolute bastard. He's nice, but he works too hard, Connor. He works too hard at his science.
But I'll be watching the movie looking for bad vibes, Sean. He might do something like he'll tell Sue to smile more, and I'm like, he's too nice. He's being a nice guy. What's he up to?
They just bring him out in a fedora, like his first introduction to the MCU.
Everyone's eyes just immediately squint at him.
There's something as well that could work with the WandaVision stuff, is that if you wanted to introduce that the Fantastic Four are from like the 60s or 70s, Matt Shakman has directed in the style of those time periods,
and those styles are pretty cool on the show.
Yeah, and they're like spot on as well, like any old sitcom you watch. So if you wanted to do that, the Fantastic Four were about in the 60s or 70s and then got transported to the negative zone or through time or any of that, that could be a really interesting way to show that visually.
And in terms of then Star Trek 4, do we care? Were you into this?
No, I didn't. Like, I'll be honest, I forgot they were making a Star Trek 4. I've seen the first two, and then I didn't see the third one.
Third one is a romp. It's a fun romp.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I was never really a Star Trek dude, I'll be honest.
I first one is really good.
First one's great.
Second one, they fell off big time. Third one, fun romp. So I think they should have stopped the 3 because they kind of got it back. They're like, right, look, we got the romp.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Leave on a high, and then just do a new Star Trek reboot or something, like, or, you know, not to just
No, because they've already announced Pine as in the movie.
No, it's still a reboot though, but now he's playing Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh shit.
He's Patrick Stewart now.
So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and Sean, I think you're going to like this one. I think this is a good one.
It's a bold move.
Cruella, number 2.
Cruella.
So Cruella, as it should definitely be called. Cruella rumoured to be a musical. Taylor Swift wanted to co-star with Emma Stone.
I'm gonna be sick. With not even with Taylor Swift. Like, that's fine. All that's fine. But why is this movie that shouldn't exist getting a sequel? Also, it's going to be called Cruella, right? And there's going to be a bit in the trailer where it says Cruella, and then CRUE and A fade out, and it's the L's, and that's the 2, and that's what they go
fuck.
with.
Shit.
Graphic design is easy. And then...
Also, poor old Taylor. I mean, the last thing she did, I think, is Cats.
I think it's Cats.
So, she's not having a fun time of it. She needs a comeback story.
Like, but like 101 Dalmatians, there is music in that. Like, that is a musical. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, and it started out as like a radio play, I think.
Yeah, and
it started out as a book, and then there was a radio play, and then animation.
Cruella, as a movie concept, we were very much against, due to the fact that it's an origin story of someone who wants to cut up dogs and wear them.
She wants to murder 101 Dalmatians, famously, in the titular
That's her
novel.
big thing. That's her personality trait.
Her main thing. Not only should she not be redeemed, I don't want her to be.
Because I'm watching her going, she wants to kill some dogs.
Yeah. And then it was on Disney Plus, and you had to pay for it, so I didn't watch it. And then it became just regular. If you have a Disney Plus subscription, you can watch it, and I still didn't watch it. But I know that the central reason why she wants to kill dogs is that a Dalmatian pushes her mother off a balcony, which I would argue is not a good reason at all.
I think that's the perfect origin story. I want to kill 101 of these dogs because one of them killed my mother.
But also, the first Cruella trailer, which is what I'm basing it off,
yes,
I remember us saying at the time, this is very Joker, isn't it? In terms
and
of
Joker 2 is Joker a musical.
Musical with Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and with Lady Gaga. So they've dragged in the opposite of Lady Gaga.
There can be only one. Like, but the thing is, and I'm reluctant to say it, but I think Cruella 2 might be a better film than Cruella 1.
I think it might buy into the lunacy of it.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
Taylor
thinking.
Swift is also already set to star in the antagonistic role that was described to us as Cruella's match. So basically Cruella, but on the opposite side.
So you need this is even okay. So you need a villain for Cruella.
Yeah.
Is she like an animal rights activist? Because I can't imagine Taylor Swift would sign on to portray a character who wants to kill animals.
See, there's the thing. Unless it's like 101 cats. Like, she really wants to kill cats.
I wonder why.
Actually, she might sign on for that. Give me the fucking part. I fucking
Taylor,
hate
do you want to be in the Cruella
cats.
sequel? I have 101 requirements, first of all.
The whole movie is her trying to get to the theatre to kill all the actors in Cats.
Just it opens with her beating the shit out of Jason Derulo, and then the camera.
You said this would be good.
Then there's a record scratch, and it just goes, "Yep, that's me. Bet you're wondering how I got here." Then it plays the entire film of Cats, so that you have
I would
context.
watch that.
I would
watch
not.
that. Come on. So yeah, Cruella 2. I mean, I think this could be a pretty big deal. People who love Taylor Swift. There's lots of people that do. Yeah. I mean, it's also people we know. Emma Stone, very good singer herself. She was in La La Land, so could be a good musical.
Ryan Gosling, not a good singer, also in La La Land.
I mean, he's there, but he can dance, can't he?
He's a bit of a dancey man, that's true.
Look, when you look like Gosling, I mean, doesn't matter. But here's the thing. I think Cruella 2, but as you said, might suffer less than the Cruella 1, because Cruella 1 was so weird that you have a movie about the person that wants to kill dogs as a hero, that maybe 2 they're going to go a bit more to the dark side.
Maybe. I just feel it'd be more of a cohesive vision. I'd like to retract my earlier statement of I'm going to be sick, because now I'm going to be intrigued, is what I want to be.
And also the Swift fans are coming after you.
Like, I've nothing against Taylor Swift. I love Love Story and
good one.
Teardrops on My Guitar and Tim McGraw. These are all from a very specific era of Taylor Swift, I know.
Well, I don't want to one-up you, but Cardigan is a good one, isn't it?
Oh,
are we all,
Jesus.
Are we all with each other?
I'm very excited for her.
You haven't been keeping up with the Folklore album, no?
What? Where did this come from? I've known you for 7 years.
Next month, Sean. I know people. People I know in my life are obsessed with this certain lady. So I have to hear through osmosis this news.
That's fair.
So I can tell you, October 21st, I think it is, there's an album coming out. Just you keep fucking stum.
Well, I'll be listening. I'll be first in the queue for Spotify. So I will. I'll be rating that 5 stars, I tell you.
So yeah, there's going to be a Cruella 2 if you were interested. I don't know who was asking for that, but I think it ultimately comes down to the fact that number 1 made more money than they expected it to, so they were going to do number 2. That's kind of it.
And they have Emma Stone signed on.
And Emma Stone signed on. Why not? So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Sean, and this is kind of for you.
Oh.
The Lord of the Rings rights have been purchased, and the new owners are already considering spin-offs for the Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So this is the rights to, like, the Silmarillion and stuff like that, which isn't owned by Amazon, by the way.
The characters of J.R.R. Tolkien, yeah.
Right, okay. So this would be separate to the Rings of Power. So the Rings of Power that came out on Amazon, I learned this the other day, they don't have the rights to like the Silmarillion and stuff like that, which is what it pulls a lot from, but they're just making up a story in the Lord of the Rings universe. Like that's what that show is about. But now some other company has the rights to do outside Lord of the Rings stuff.
They have the rights of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy.
That's mad.
Yeah. Which then goes on to the fact that we could get brand new Lord of the Rings, brand new Hobbit stuff. And I think my main question is, right, you've done 3 of these, well, you've done 6 of them, technically.
Yeah.
So 3 of the original, 3 of the Hobbit. All of them 3 hours long. All of them, I would say, pretty, like, smack bang good from, like, as in you did it. You've done it, it's the event. The event is done.
Yes.
I don't know if you can do that again.
No, I don't think, like, the original films, like Fellowship, Two Towers and Return of the King, I don't think you'll ever make those as good again. Because the way that those were made was very, like, early 2000s. Or or late 90s, where it was just easier to fly them all to New Zealand and walk them around. Whereas you look at The Hobbit then and it's all on like a soundstage and things like that. So I don't think there's going to be the same celebration or fanfare if you just do more of The Hobbit kind of thing.
So it's been bought by Embracer Group. So they already have a history with the world of Middle-earth, as they're the parent company of Asmodee Group, who has already published over 12 games involving the world of Middle-earth, including the Lord of the Rings, the card game, Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. And so they basically have done all the games, and so the parent group of them have bought the rights to the movies and characters.
Right. Okay. But what, like, where does this leave, 1, the Amazon series, and 2, like, all those actors who still exist? Because I assume they'll want to do, like, an Aragorn story. Like,
oh, yeah, I mean, that's what you do.
That's, like, that's the easiest one. Like, you just have him being a ranger and doing his thing.
Lord of the Rings Origins, Aragorn. Lord of the Rings Origins, Legolas.
Gandalf.
Gandalf, I mean, it's locked in.
Yeah, like, that kind of stuff, I kind of get it. You could do more adventures of Bilbo, things he did in his youth.
I think Aragorn probably more exciting, but yeah.
Probably, and a lot more swords involved.
Definitely.
You could do a whole thing about Gondor, and like all the stuff that goes on in Gondor. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm just I don't know what the next step would be. I suppose I think maybe the Origins route is how.
Do you think they would have the balls to do another trilogy?
Do you think maybe? But also, what if they announced that they were remaking, like, Fellowship of the Ring in the morning?
Like they were just remaking the trilogy, starting again.
Yeah, they were rebooting it. Could you imagine the outrage?
That's what I mean. Like, it's one of those things that's like, Lord of the Rings is different. It's not, to me, it's like Star Wars. Like, you don't remake Star Wars. It just exists. You have add-ons. Or you've prequels or sequels, but you never, like, we're just going to do a reboot, we're just going to redo the story again. To me, Lord of the Rings is like that. Those movies came out, they exist. Yeah. And so, if you were like, yeah, we're just going to recast Legolas, and we're going to recast Gandalf, I think, I don't want to go out on a limb, but I think people might turn on it.
No, and I think... To be fair, I would probably turn on it as well. I'd probably
Big time.
I would be in the mob somewhere. But it seems like kind of a poison chalice because, as you say, it's like you don't touch the quote-unquote originals. You just add on to the world and tell other stories. Unless
you're doing prequels and sequels. But they've already done the prequels, which were the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, so that's locked in. Well, like, I don't think people would really care if you remade The Hobbit, to be fair.
And also, I don't think people cared about those movies to begin with. So does that then not show you that maybe people only cared about, like, the original story? Because I know those Hobbit movies, people went to see them. But, I mean, in terms of love and fanfare, I think people are like... They happened.
Yeah, the first one was alright, and then the second two, not so great.
So, like, you'd have to go a sequel. Other than, you couldn't go prequel then.
No, yeah, it would have to be after the events of Return of the King. So just...
but that ends like it just ends like it's
just the end of the story. Like, there's other things that happens in the world, but I wouldn't make a movie out of them. Like, I don't know where I stand on this, because on the one hand, I love Lord of the Rings and would love to see more Lord of the Rings stuff, but also don't just do it for the sake of it and, like, for want of a better word, like, tarnish it, kind of.
That's literally all I thought of when I seen this story. I was like, I gotta tell Shaun first of all, but then my first thoughts were, as you said, like, it's a poison chalice.
Yeah,
like, you get given this amazing thing, but it's like, yeah, but you're never going to be able to do it better than, first of all, the original trilogy.
No,
and then of course we've already seen The Hobbit was fine. So it's like. And that was already a book. So that was like a locked in your IP. You're thinking, this is going to get big fanfare. But people even then, I mean, when did the last one come out? 2016? 2017? Like, even then, people were like, I preferred the original three. No, this is fine.
If The Hobbit was just one film.
Yeah, they split it into three.
Yeah. But if it was just one film, because the book is like nothing. Like, the book is, you would read it in an afternoon. So if you had just one really solid Hobbit film, you'd knock it out of the park. People would love it.
I don't think they'll do that, though. They can't do that now.
No, they can't unring that bell. Like, they're just like, nah, it's done. It's done forever.
I just wanted to let you know that happened, so we could be getting Lord of the Rings sequels coming down the line. So prepare yourself if, like, a Gandalf origin story comes out that we know what's going to happen.
Not opposed.
Same actors?
I think I wouldn't put McKellen through it. I don't think. I think you'd have to recast him.
No, but then who do you get? Oh, I mean, there's only one man to get, and he's Irish.
Barry Keoghan? No, Fassbender. Get Fassbender.
Fassbender can only replace McKellen.
I'd be up for it, man. I think that'd be class. Fassbender as
can only
Gandalf.
do him in all things. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Sean, and it involves the Batman director Matt Reeves, who, amongst all of the issues that are currently going on with HBO Max that we will get to, at the end of the show, but there's one bright spot. There's one lone star that is pretty good, and it's the Batman. Well, the Batman director Matt Reeves has signed a multi-year deal with Warner Brothers Discovery amongst all of the terrible press currently. Snuck in there, right in the middle of it, is we've got Matt Reeves locked in for another few years.
We're keeping him around. We've given him more money than God. We can't lose this man.
He's the only good thing we have.
Like, literally he is, which is mad.
Yeah.
And I think he gets like first refusal then on projects as well. So even outside of Batman, if there's anything else he's interested in, he can kind of say, "Oh no, I want to do that film."
And this is all stemming from obviously the new CEO, the new group that came in with the Discovery merger and all that shit. And so they've kind of basically gone through everything they have. This led to the Batgirl cancellation, but it also meant that everyone who was there originally was like, to me, it was like very similar to like a sports team where you sign a player and then the manager gets fired and then a new manager comes in and you're like, do I want this player that the other manager thought was amazing, but do I give a shit? I don't really know.
I've seen Moneyball, Connor.
You've seen Moneyball? so like, to me, it's like Matt Reeves must be like the star player and he's like, what if the new guys don't like me though? What if they don't want to get rid of me?
But like, presumably he's signed on to do Batman 2 and 3.
So he's been signed on for several years to do multiple projects. So as you said, it's not just it won't just be the Batman. It's also one spin-off focusing on Arkham Asylum and the Gotham City Police Department, and obviously Colin Farrell's Penguin character is also getting a spin-off. So he's kind of involved in all that stuff at the minute.
I mean, okay, good to have one person who knows the full vision and everything that's going to happen.
Bring in multiple people and really question each other constantly.
Just really fly by the seat of your pants. Just guess at what's
passive aggressive emails. Is this really what we want to do? Because I'm doing the opposite.
And like, don't watch any of the previous stuff that you've been told that you're making a property about. Just get all that out of here.
So yeah, Matt Reeves has signed, I think they said it's the longest contract they've ever handed out.
It's a bit desperate, but god damn it, they need him. It
probably is their longest DC contract they've ever handed out. Previous was probably Nolan. Christopher Nolan was probably on a shit ton of money and a massive contract.
That's fair. I think Zack Snyder probably had a decent contract as well, but then other things cropped up with that.
Yeah, but they've locked in Matt Reeves, so we will be getting more The Batman, thankfully, amongst all of this nonsense. But then again, this kind of news is like, oh, this is good, but then next week they could also then just cancel.
This is the thing. Didn't they cancel DC Fandom as well?
We're going to get to that at the end of the show, Sean.
Perfect.
Oh, that's the big news. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is a story that really confused me, and it might be the most random sequel announcement of 2022.
Okay.
So there's a movie from 2013. It's a comic book adaptation, Sean, and it stars Ryan Reynolds. Can you name that comic book adaptation movie?
It's not Green Lantern.
No, Green Lantern's 2012.
Ryan Reynolds in a 2013
comic book adaptation. It's real niche, super niche. It was not good.
Was it Waiting? The diner comedy Waiting?
Maybe if I give you another actor. Yeah. Jeff Bridges is also in the movie.
Oh, fuck. Is it Jonah Hex?
R.I.P.D., not Jonah Hex.
Oh, sorry.
So, R.I.P.D., if anyone remembers that movie. is getting a sequel from Universal.
I did not know that was a comic book property. What the fuck?
Yeah. So Universal has not announced the mysterious new project through any media outlets, and it is unknown who will star, direct, or anything else. But it seems that R.I.P.D. 2, Rise of the Damned, is coming out at Universal. Shaun, that's right. We're going to have a sequences of violence, language, disturbing images, and some crude sexual references, apparently.
Hell
in
yeah.
their PG-13 rating.
This is ridiculous.
I can't... Does anyone remember the plot of R.I.P.D.?
Let me have a check and see if I remember it.
It's like Men in Black and Ghostbusters together. I know, like, they're like detectives who die and then are listed by...
the Rest in Peace Department.
The Rest in Peace Department, which is an undead police force, trying to find spirits.
Yeah, so in this case, they're trying to find the man who murdered Ryan Reynolds, I believe.
So they're going around, and spirits are like designed as humans. So they're like going around, and it's their job in terms of like, it's literally Men in Black mixed with Ghostbusters. They're like, we gotta send these guys back to hell because we're the R.I.P.D.
Now, Rotten Tomatoes does not mean everything. It has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 12%.
Ah, come on, that was pretty good.
and then Rotten Tomatoes also has this feature of you might also like, if you're interested.
Yeah.
So we got Ride Along with Ice Cube. We got Red 2 with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
We've got Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
It's pretty good.
Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh no, it's getting worse.
And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 2013, the one with Stephen Amell in it.
They're all sequels.
They're all sequels, apart from Ride Along.
And Ride Along didn't get a sequel.
It did, actually.
Why not just go all sequel? So yeah, R.I.P.D., the movie from 2013 that nobody remembers. And also, I don't think anyone was clamouring for this.
No.
Is, for some reason, getting a sequel at Universal.
Like, I've not seen the movie, but is it one of those ones where it sets up a sequel at the end? And they've just never touched it since.
You're asking me. I haven't seen that movie since 2013, and it was terrible then.
Right, so, well, this is going in the Patreon hat, I must say.
I mean, Jeff Bridges is in it. He's pretty good. I mean, Jeff Bridges, Ryan Reynolds, pretty good combo. It's just the fact the movie itself makes no sense and is bad.
But if they remake this movie, or they do a sequel to this, is it going to be... Because it's going to be now Ryan Reynolds. Like, it's going to be... Like, it's going to be Deadpool, but he's dead. Like, and he's a cop.
But also, I would say Ryan Reynolds is more famous now than he was then.
Oh,
because he had just come off Green Lantern, dead, and then he did this, and he went like, it wasn't that he was down, but it was like Ryan Reynolds. Whereas now, anything he does is immediately picked up.
Yeah. So, like, I think it will probably make more money. But I don't know if it will be a better movie.
By the way, do you want to know how much the budget was for the original R.I.P.D.?
Oh, please tell me. See, I'm thrown off because we covered Catwoman on Patreon. Yeah. That's a $100 million movie.
But by the way, if you were interested in a review of Catwoman, head on over to our Patreon now, because it was 1 hour and 20 minutes of a review. And I gotta say, worst movie I've ever seen.
Absolutely awful. Hated the entire experience.
My life is worse having seen it.
So, R.I.P.D., I want to say Jeff Bridges, $70 million?
$130 million budget shot.
Jesus Christ.
How much did it make?
100 million? Did it?
78 million.
Oh, nearly half.
That is less.
That's a tough one. The fucking balls you would need to go into a producers meeting and pitch R.I.P.D. 2 to them.
Yeah. I mean, so it made so little money that 78 million, 130, that's nearly, it's $52 million in the difference.
Just gone.
And so you lost $52 million, and then to come back 9 years later and be like, you know what we need? The world's asking for it. I'm constantly being asked what's going on in that RIPD universe.
I think you merge it with the Real Steel universe. I think that's the only way to combine those,
That's your idea for everything.
Oh, we're doing the Scarface sequel. Oh, you know what would really work with that, actually?
You got to put Real Steel in it. Do you think Ryan Reynolds comes back?
I think so. I think he would as well. I think he'd be up for doing it.
Just for a bit of shit takes.
He could sell his gin and manage his football team, the whole thing.
Just be chill. Jeff Bridges might be a harder sell. But, Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news. And this is one that I think you're going to like.
You've said this a couple of times and I haven't liked the story.
But this one, I promise, I know I've burnt bridges before.
Right.
But this time, promise. Do you like the TV show Community, Shaun?
I do like the TV show Community.
Well, what is the slogan of Community?
6 seasons and a movie, I believe.
Well, Shaun, we had 6 seasons. Now there will be a Community movie, as it is definitely happening. Creator Dan Harmon has promised.
Well, that's very cool then. I do like this news.
See now. So obviously, Community, I think it got cancelled 2015 was the last season on Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo had their own streaming service for a while. And Community was cancelled on and off for years. And then Yahoo brought it back. And then that finished. And then they just ended Community.
And so Dan Harmon has now come out and said that the movie is definitely happening and he is working on a story and has the story nearly in place for the planned movie itself.
Okay. What if it's bad though?
That's what I was just taking. Because I think the big thing here is that during the pandemic, it released on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it got so many downloads, so many new viewers just tuned in to watch Community. And it kind of blew up again. So I think a studio has looked at that and is like, I like money. People are pretty big on this. Let's greenlight this.
Yeah, the end of Community, it the final thing is it's a black screen and then it pops up ... and a movie.
Yes.
So it had that's how it ended during the pandemic when everyone was watching it. So there's this massive, as you say, outpouring of support for it. But I think the idea of a movie for Community might work better in our heads than it does actually as a movie, if you get me.
It's also not announced when it's happening, so I mean it could be fucking 5 years from now.
And all of those actors, man, have gone on to do a lot in
they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, Donald Glover as well. That man does not need to come back.
How are you getting Childish Gambino back in?
I don't know how. Do you get Chevy Chase back? I guess not, since they canonically killed him off.
No, you don't go near Chevy, I don't think. I think Chevy is out.
It could work. But Jesus, what would it be? Do they go back to college after?
That is actually one of the big things that I was thinking of, because I mean, me and you are pretty big fans of Community, I would say. I think it's a really good show, but the movie aspect, you go back to college, or are they just hanging out?
I think what they're going to do, and this would be a good device to frame it through, is that Abed, he's a character in the show, for people that don't know, character in the show who constantly makes fourth wall breaking references to the fact that he's in a show. But he's a film student, so you have him make a Where Are They Now style documentary about all of the people he went to college with, kind of thing.
Yes. And do you think he just follows Childish Gambino?
well, this is another thing, is that you could do with that, because Troy, Donald Glover's character.
Donald Glover plays Troy, but Troy is so the opposite of who Donald Glover plays now, is what I would say.
That's true, but Troy canonically disappeared in a boating accident.
On a boat, yeah.
So what if they go looking for Troy, and then you just need to get Donald Glover for one day at the end? You
just need him for a day.
Yeah. And then they have their big reunion, and it's all good.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, I think Jim Rash, who plays the principal, Dean, yeah, he's won an Oscar since the show ended. Yeah, I think he won an Oscar for screenplay.
He won an Academy Award.
Academy, okay, well done, yes.
Thanks.
He won a Academy Award, yes. And I mean, Alison Brie is on every Netflix show that is #1 in trending for the last 5 years. I mean, you've got so many talented people all over this place. Are you currently looking up Jim Rash and his Oscar?
He wrote The Descendants.
Yeah.
George Clooney, or he adapted it. That's cool. There's so many... but also the show took such a turn in content around season 6.
Yeah,
because you got they were just swapping characters in, and they were
once everyone started leaving, it was all very confusing.
Yeah, it did change a lot from season 1 to season 6 as a show. So I guess you just kind of pick up 10 years later maybe, and you can just kind of bring everyone back then. And
I think, as you said, I don't think you bring back Chevy Chase. I think Chevy Chase does not get brought back because everyone hates him.
Terrible to work with.
To him. If you've heard of any of the actors talk about Chevy Chase, it was a nightmare to work with him on the set. And so they probably don't want to do a press tour promoting the movie. Who gets stuck with Chevy is really the question.
Yeah. Who gets stuck babysitting Chevy? You got to get Troy and Abed back in the movie, though.
Yeah, in the morning.
Troy and Abed in the morning. That's going to be... those poor guys are going to have to do that so many times on the fucking press tour for this movie.
Do the handshake. Do the handshake.
Do you still remember the handshake?
You should do it. It's Graham Norton's couch.
Can you do the Spanish rap that you did in episode 2?
This is Jimmy Fallon. We're going to do a Spanish rap.
This is Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to do a Spanish rap. This is Graham Norton. Going to do a Spanish rap.
So, I mean, Community movie, I think it's one of those where everyone's like, oh, that's pretty cool, but also... is it going to be good?
Yeah. I feel the same way about this as I do about Paddington 3. Is that, Jesus, you're really risking everything by putting out another one.
I mean, yeah, I suppose. But at the grand scheme of things, show still exists, even if this is bad.
That's true. That is true.
Because everyone kind of forgets the last 2 seasons anyway.
It's mainly seasons 1 through 3 people like.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and it is the saddest, most anger-inducing news I've covered this year. Shaun, you know me. I'm a laid-back, level-headed guy.
You're a relaxed kind of fella, I'd say.
I'm a chill... Not much irks me.
Very limp human.
Yes. You're irking me, Shaun.
Oh shit.
You're irking me. You would like me when I'm irked. But Shaun, HBO Max, I didn't mind when they were cutting things that I didn't care about.
Oh, okay? This. Yeah.
I didn't mind
Here
when it was things I couldn't give 2 fucks, okay? But now they've come for me. And I now feel like what I have reaped, what I have sown I am now reaping, because HBO Max has dropped Bruce Timm's new Batman show and they're no longer going to be doing it.
So this was the animated Batman Caped Crusader.
Yes, that was going to be on HBO Max, written by Bruce Timm, who wrote the original Batman the Animated Series show.
So kind of a spiritual successor to one of your favourite shows of all time.
Yes, it was.
And Warner Brothers have just decided to gut that and just throw it on out of there.
Yes.
They killed off a whole heap of animation as well.
I have the list, if you'd like the whole list.
Yeah, if we have time.
So we've got time. We've got Merry Little Batman, which was like a Batman action comedy. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Bye Bye Buddy, a Looney Tunes musical. Did I do that to the holidays? A Steve Urkel story.
Jesus.
And The Amazing World of Gumball, the movie, are just only some of the... Basically, it was like 50 fucking things all cancelled at once, all animated.
Like, that's insane. Like, and there are shows like I've seen animators on Twitter being like, no, we had done 4 seasons of this show and they just cut it. No, we don't get to finish it.
Just cancelled it.
And it's like, it's how strapped for cash are they that they have to have to, first of all, like, scrap established stuff, but also, why would you scrap what is essentially the easiest home run anyone has ever been handed in terms of an animated series, which is get Bruce Timm to do Batman again?
Also, do you know who else was on the team producing it?
Go ahead.
Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams.
Jesus.
Was the three. They were all producers of the project.
Why? How did they have no faith that would do well? Like, now granted, it might not do well on HBO Max, where it's only available in America, but, like, you could maybe put it out somewhere else or release HBO Max worldwide.
The fact that you got the Batman director, Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, this is fucking cool. J.J. Abrams comes in, talented man. Let's not let him do any sequels. But look, let's bring him in. He's a talented dude.
Big picture guy.
And then just to round it up, let's get Bruce Timm back in. Because, I mean, it is animated Batman and we're bringing the character back. And Bruce Timm is the most famous person involved, other than Paul Dini, with the original Batman the Animated series.
Like, what? I don't understand the logic behind why that's gone. It's also shit that, like, a studio as big as Warner Brothers isn't willing to take a risk in terms of commissioning content anymore.
This was one of those where I went, like, I thought this was safe still. I'm like, okay, well, it's animated Batman and it's Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm. Like, they couldn't cancel this. And then when Matt Reeves got signed to the contract, I was like, look, we're locked in. They're not going to cancel this. And then they're like, no, we're still cancelling. We don't really care about anything other than The Batman 2.
Yeah, and Joker, Folie à Dieu. Like, those are the two tent poles that we have at the minute.
There is some positive news. And that is the fact that it will actually probably be now shopped elsewhere because Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, as you said, big fucking names, okay? The series was already being worked on. They're not just cancelling this straight up. What is going to happen now is probably Warner Bros. Animation, they're no longer releasing it, but that doesn't mean that it won't be released on Netflix, on Amazon, on Disney Plus. Like, maybe not Disney Plus, but there would be a thing that they would pay a shit ton of money for this. Like, Netflix would pay good money for this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, like, now how would that work, I wonder, with the fact that it's Batman, though? Like,
see, it hinders who they probably can use, but I mean, I think Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams and Bruce Timm would probably have some sort of, like, contract rights of who they can and can't use. Also, what normally happens, and this is actually probably a big positive for the show itself, is that the show normally can't use characters that are appearing in movies at that time because it confuses kids. So we're like, we can't throw Bane into this and he's designed different if the Bane that's coming out in the movie is like a different Bane. It's going to confuse people, which obviously is ridiculous, but it's just the way it works. So if, you already have Matt Reeves working on the show, he's like, well, this is who I'm using in the sequel. We can use everyone else.
That's a pretty good way of, like, I suppose, differentiating it. And you have someone on the inside, as you say, who knows where it's going to go. Like, and
also knows the design of the characters. So Matt Reeves could say, we'll just design them the same. It's just the animated version. Yeah.
And I never got that about the whole, you can't use this character because they appear in this movie. People are smarter than studios give them credit for, I think.
I realise that, but I think back in the day, especially like early 2090s, like they were fucking, like they were all over that. They did not want to use that. Like, for example, the animated series The Batman?
Yeah.
It came out around the same time as The Dark Knight, so like their Joker is like completely different design. Has to be completely different.
Yeah, I remember this. He's much more cartoony. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because they had to make him like as little like all the Jokers that had appeared before and all the Jokers that were going to appear later on.
I mean,
it's a weird one.
It is. I would love to see this series come to life somehow. Even if they have to put it out and it's like, it's called The Cowl. And it's like, it's It's essentially Batman, but they just can't say the word Batman.
I get Kevin Conroy to do the voice, and it doesn't matter what you do with it, okay? So we're finishing off Movie Mondays this week, Shaun, with the news that you mentioned earlier on. DC Fandom 2022.
Yep.
Pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal.
They announced a lot in Fandom 2021, if you remember.
And 2020. It's their big thing through the year.
Every year they do one.
I mean, at San Diego Comic-Con, DC had a very small presence there. So,
well, sure, Fandom was coming up, Connor.
Fandom's coming up. I mean, that's their big DC Fandom event. We do all the announcements. Why reveal at Comic-Con in amongst all the Marvel stuff? We'll have our own thing. Have a whole week to ourselves. Well, Shaun, we're overthinking this, because what's happened is DC Fandom has been cancelled.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
And do you want to know why it's been cancelled?
Yes,
the rumour is that it's due to all of the controversy and significant movie delays that are currently surrounding the studio itself.
Well, I mean, that does make sense. It's not a great look to have to do a big press conference and announce that everything will be later than you thought it was and most of it's cancelled.
The previous two DC Fandoms had the debuts of the two trailers for the Batman. So the previous 2 years, they also had the first look at Blue Beetle and Batgirl concept art, which obviously now is funny.
Can I say, I'm really nervous for the Blue Beetle movie.
Oh, any day now. Any fucking day now.
Because if they'll axe Batgirl, they will absolutely axe Blue Beetle.
Like, that poor, like, Jamie Reyes, he's got minutes. I would say days left before he's cut as well. That movie's half done, half ate enough, boys. You need it in the can. You
need it, like, on a cinema screen before you're actually safe.
I think what's happened is they forgot that it exists. And so it's going to take one email for someone to go, what's all that weird money going to Blue Beetle? What's that project? And it just goes to the wrong person, wrong day, and it's like, yeah, we're going to cancel that as well.
Yeah, there's like a chain of command of people who love Blue Beetle, but like someone middle of the road has to take a sick day. And the intern filling in for them is like, what's this about? And the whole thing falls apart.
CC's in all the wrong people.
Yeah.
So in amongst all of this is obviously Ezra Miller's all that controversy, including The Flash. But Shaun, I heard good news. Flash got the same reviews as the Dark Knight trilogy.
No, it didn't. No, it did not. There is not a hope that movie's any good.
Same as the Dark Knight. It's good. They're basically the same level.
Same as the Dark Knight.
Yeah, they went to the best comic book movie ever, I think.
That has to be a piss take, surely.
I love the fact that they didn't choose it's really good. They were like, no, it's the Dark Knight. Some said Ezra is as good as Heath Ledger's Joker. That's what people are saying.
Like, they could have just said, no, reviews were generally favourable. And that would have been fine, no one would have questioned it. But Jesus Christ.
I read that and I was like, that's one of those where you're like trying to impress and you're like, yeah, well, my dad's an astronaut.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You went too far too soon. Like, you promised too much.
Also, in amongst all the controversy, we all know Ezra Miller. We all know all the stuff to do with all the cancellations of everything that's happened so far. Batgirl, all the stuff with Leslie Grace. But also, in the last week or two, Shaun, we found out that Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 have been delayed. They are no longer coming out when they were meant to.
Now, I will say, the director for Shazam came out and he was like, it kind of makes sense because the original release date competed with Avatar, and that's another Warner Brothers thing. So I kind of get why they would push Shazam 2 away from Avatar 2 just to help ticket sales.
I mean, I suppose that's probably what they told him.
Could be. Could be.
But I suppose that does make sense. But it's also not... I would say that incident alone, perfectly acceptable. Perfectly fine. It's one of those where if it happens and nothing else has happened for months, you're like, yeah, well, that makes sense. Avatar's coming out. Let's move it slightly. A month or two back, it's grand. But in amongst everything that we've seen and Aquaman 2 being pushed back as well, kind of just means they're just kind of winging it day to day.
No, it is a bad trend, like across the Warner Brothers empire. Like, and also, like, fucking Dwayne Johnson is swinging hard for that Black Adam movie, man. But I don't think that's going to be any good at all.
Poor Dwayne, right? He's tried his hardest, but they've actually somehow, like, stressed Dwayne The Rock Johnson out about a movie. Because, like, every movie he does makes fucking billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I don't think I could save this.
No. And the thing is, like, I'm looking at Black Adam, and I'm firmly entrenched in, like, this world of comic bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I think, like, parts of it look too weird for me. Where I'm just like, and maybe that's me, and I'm getting older, but I'm just like, I'm tired, man. I'm done with all of this. So, like, a general audience.
It's just Dwayne just, like, trying his hardest. He's just fighting against the current. If even he can't turn this around, I think it's good that he's in that spot, because can you imagine Black Adam if they'd cast someone maybe less known as Black Adam? Like, that movie's cancelled. That movie doesn't exist.
In a heartbeat.
That's gone. So
yeah.
It's only the fact that it's The Rock and his merchandise and his marketing team. They're like, we got to keep him around, but I mean, the place is on fire around him.
Do you imagine the uproar? Yeah, it's like it's on fire and they're just hosing The Rock down constantly to keep him alive.
It's grand.
No, but the outrage if, like, the Rock's Black Adam movie had been cancelled, that would be hilarious to see.
It's also, as I said, Jason Momoa's outing as Aquaman has been pushed back to December of 2023, which is a strange one, because I'm pretty sure December 2023... Wasn't the Avatar 3 could have come out?
I think it might be, actually.
Yeah.
But they're both about water, aren't they? No, that's the second one is about water, the Avatar movies.
So, like, I love that, by the way, this article, the headline, this article itself kind of sums it all up, and I really wanted to read it because it says, Warner Bros. Discovery is certainly not making any friends at the moment, with their incomprehensible decision to scrap the almost completed Batgirl movie, having set off a chain of events that has seen the company's share price plummet, fans protest online against a number of projects that are no longer being released, and several directors and writers sharing their candid feelings about some of their projects being unceremoniously dropped.
They're not. I mean, they're right. They're not making any friends. Like, it's gonna be. I genuinely think they need to just do a clean slate. Like, wipe it all, give it 2 years, and then start again. That's what you would do if you, like, wanted to make good things and have a good
Well, they have a
impression.
10-year plan, though, Shaun. So you're forgetting the 10-year plan that they mentioned a few weeks ago.
Is that the one that was updated from the 7-year plan that they had?
Yeah, they had a
previously?
7-year plan 3 years ago, but now it's a 10-year plan. So
right, okay. And who's in charge of this?
Somebody's in charge of it.
All right. But they signed Matt Reeves. We have Matt Reeves, lads.
Boys, we've Matt. Poor
Matt, come here.
I just imagine Matt Reeves and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. They just, like, give them, like, little shitty knives, and they're like, there's an army coming over that hill, lads. You protect us.
Can I say something as well? I heard a rumour that Henry Cavill has been cast as Hyperion.
Fuck off.
Who is basically Superman in Marvel.
I've also heard a rumour that Henry Cavill is back as Superman, just to let you know. But everything's just a fucking rumour. So, I mean, is Henry Cavill in or is he out? It's kind of day to day at this point.
Yeah, rumour, you can kind of, like, it's a simile for the word guess at this point.
Yeah. We're just going to guess.
I guess you'd be doing.
To be honest with you, the way Disney or HBO Max and DC are running, Henry Cavill could be in tomorrow and then also out by Tuesday. Or Wednesday.
This is true. Or they could finish the Superman movie and then can it immediately.
We finished it. I don't really like it.
It's gone.
We've released Batgirl in its place.
We sold Batgirl to Marvel. Now she's part of the MCU now.
So DC fandom no longer happening in amongst all of the cancellations. They said that they're cancelling it because they're excited to engage with fans at live events at numerous Comic-Cons around the world instead of a DC fandom. What's the level of bollocks on that?
Oh, I would say that's outrageous levels of bollocks right there. That's talking out of your arse to try and save face.
They did renew Harley Quinn for season 4, so
Saw that. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
To see that.
Doom
Any news
Patrol
on my
Stargirl.
beloved Young Justice? Any Young Justice news, Connor?
Oh, for God's sake. I hate you.
I'm asking about everyone's favourite show, Young Justice, that we've all
You
seen.
only know because you haven't seen Young Justice, and it's so good.
Watch Harley Quinn.
I have.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Watch Young Justice.
Eventually.
Oh, lad. DC will be disbanded until you get around to it.
They'll retroactively cancel it and just scrub it
Which
from
could
all
also...
media.
DC could also disband by next week, for all we know, at this rate. Warner Bros. Are like, no, we're no longer doing movies.
Yeah.
We just decided against it.
We're in the NFT business now.
Yeah.
I hear it's really popping off.
NFT. I think that's it for this week's Movie Monday, Shaun.
What a week. Would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon who continues to support the show. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. And shout outs, of course, go to Róisín Chunky Lopes Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Technically Fine Evanson, Waffles loves you and hopes you have a good day, David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Anna Hjelmroos, Little Dicky, Funny Observation, McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, The Fabulous Frogman, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Sackman41 and Buster. Thank you all for the support. You're absolutely amazing humans. Hope you enjoyed the Catwoman review that we put up. I know we definitely didn't enjoy watching it, but hopefully it was fun to listen to us shit on it for a while. Other ways to support the show then, we do have a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Diddleman's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Rowland.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.